Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Breakdown. Today we're going to be talking about the Geckos 3.0 grips. Now these grips, along with the Cicada Wing grips, round out our premium grip tape offerings, but the Geckos offer several unique advantages over the Cicada Wings due to their increased thickness and durability. So in today's video, we're going to talk in depth all about the features of the Geckos grips, and talk in depth about the performance, available types, installation process, reusability, and much more. But before we get into it, if you enjoy this video and want to see more episodes of breaking down our other products, be sure to leave a like on this video and get subscribed to the channel. And if you want to learn more about the Gecko grips or pick one up for yourself, you can check out the product links down in the video description. And just for a clarification, on our website you'll notice that the Geckos come in two different versions, the V2s and the V3s. Both of these grips are essentially the same, however the V2s are ever so slightly thicker than the V3s, and the V3s use an updated adhesive type, but aside from that the grips are identical in every other way. For versions, the Geckos grips retail in a variety of sets, including pre-cut sets for the Logitech GPX2, Pro X 502, and Razer Death Adder V3 Pro, all of which include hump cover pieces as well as extra universal pieces. We also sell a DIY sheet where you can cut your own size grips, as well as a universal kit which includes 42 pieces, and we'll be adding more pre-cut sets in the future, so if you want to see Geckos made for a particular mouse, be sure to let us know down in the comments. Now all versions are currently available in two colors, black and pink, and all versions of the Gecko grips retail for $13.99 USD, but as with all of X-Raypad's products, if you purchase them directly from our website, the grips are available at a discounted price, while on third-party retailers, the grips will retail for their full MSRP. And don't forget that you can use code BREAKDOWN when purchasing any of our products on our website to save even more off your order. For unboxing, the Geckos grips come in rather familiar packaging, as it's using the same packaging type as what was used for the Cicada Wing grips, just colored black with a golden gecko design across it. Inside, all the sets of the Geckos will include 2 alcohol wipes, an installation guide, and the grips themselves, which will come wrapped in a protective plastic wrapper, similar to the ones we use on our mouse pads. Now in today's video, we'll be covering the universal kit of the Geckos V3, but the unboxing, installation, and performance of all versions of the Geckos will be the same, regardless if you bought the V2 or V3 versions. In terms of installation, since this is a universal set of the Geckos grips, they can be used on both keyboards and mice, and as such their installation process is quite different from traditional pre-cut grips. Now before you install the grips, you'll need to remove any old grips you have on your mouse or keyboard, and once removed you can use the included alcohol wipes to clean the mouse's shell of the keys you want to use the grips on. Now for keyboards, you'll need to use the smaller square pieces on smaller keycaps and the longer pieces for shift, control, or space keys, and for mice you can use any of the included pieces, but since they're smaller you'll need to install them directly on your contact points, so grab your mouse and make note of where your hand makes contact with the mouse's shell and install the grips on those points. And once you've installed the grips, double check their positioning to make sure they match your contact points. If they don't, you can reuse and reapply the grips as needed, and once they've been properly positioned you can press down on the grips with your thumb to fully anchor the Geckos 3M adhesive, and once anchored that's all you need to do to install the Geckos grips on your mouse or keyboard or whatever you want to install them on. For material and texturing, the Geckos grips are made out of a special polyurethane material similar to the material used in the Ultra Grip and honeycomb polyurethane bases used on several of our mouse pads, but the material here has been made even stickier so it's easier to grip. In addition to their natural stickiness, the Geckos also have a skin-like texturing to them, which is largely flat with a slight roughness, bumpiness to them. The exact same style of texturing seen on the Cicada Wing grips. This texturing creates a large, flattened, slightly textured surface for your fingers to anchor to, and the natural stickiness of the material will further improve the grip you'll feel on the Geckos, which makes these grips ideal for both dry and sweaty hands, and even in more intensive use where your fingers can generate a lot of sweat, the Geckos will maintain their anchored, grippy feeling regardless of how much moisture they're exposed to. Another aspect to the Geckos that improves their gripability is their thickness, as unlike the Cicada Wings which are only 0.22mm thick, while the Geckos are a little thicker, with the V3s measuring 0.33mm and the V2s as mentioned earlier measuring around 0.37mm. This added thickness does give a slight degree of softness to the Geckos grips, which you can utilize by pressing into the grips to better anchor your fingers on them. But this added thickness does mean that the Geckos have a thicker edge to them, which might be an issue for some users. As such, if you prefer a thinner, non-shape altering type of grips, we recommend using the Cicada Wings, which are much thinner. For performance, as we just talked about and as expected for an X-Raypad grip tape, the Geckos, due to their thickness, surface area, and natural stickiness, significantly improve the grip of any keyboard, mouse, or anything you put them on, and the grips maintain their performance and sticky, anchored feel with both dry and sweaty hands. However, due to their increased thickness, the Geckos are not only more reusable powerful, they're also more durable, as unlike the cicada wings which can warp when repositioned or degrade over long-term use due to their thinner nature, the gecko's thicker material doesn't warp or crease to the same degree when removed, making their long-term durability much better than the cicada wings, but at the cost of being in a much thicker form factor. It is also worth noting that the lighter colored versions of the geckos, just like the lighter colored versions of the cicada wings, can discolor over long-term use due to the buildup of sweat, oils, and other debris from your hands or fingers, and as such we recommend getting the darker colors of the geckos if you're picky about the appearance of your mouse, but again this discoloration will only happen after very long-term use. Alright, and with that, that's everything you need to know about the Geckos V2 and V3 grips. If you're looking for a grip tape that is not only more durable but also is more resistant to wear and tear than traditional grip tapes, and comes in both pre-cut and universal sets that can be used on mice, keyboards, controllers, or pretty much anything for that matter, the Geckos grips are the perfect option. If you'd like to learn more about the Geckos series grips or pick up a set for yourself, you can check out the product links down in the video description, and if you have any specific questions about the Gecko grips or any other versions that we didn't cover in this video, feel free to leave your questions down in the comments. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching and thank you for choosing X-Raypad. Cheers.